Hello you lovely lot, how are we all doing? My name's Danny, this is Crafty D Sculpting, and in this video we're doing some gonks. Yep, as it's Christmas, we're going to do a Christmas theme, and yep, as I said a minute ago, this one's gonks. My missus is fanatically mad about them. She's got close to 100 of them all scattered around the house, so I thought I'd add to it with a nice Christmas theme. So yeah, anyone wants to know what I want for Christmas, all I want this year is a nice like and subscribe from you lot. Well, I'm still haven't hit my milestone of 500 subs yet, and as soon as I hit 500 I am giving one of my sculpts away, so there's no better time than to hit that sub button than right now. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video, and before we do, I'd just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope to see you in the new year with some more fantastic sculpts. So we're going to be starting this one with a ball of aluminium, or aluminium as our American friends call it. But yep, anyway, we've got a ball of aluminium and we're just going to wrap it in some clay. So, with the power of editing, 1, 2, bosh! There we go, all covered in clay. All been in the oven. And now we're going to need to make some smaller ones. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Wait, cheeky little elf. Get out of here. Get out. Right, now that's been in the oven, we're going to drill for a armature arm, and we're just going to stick them in. There we go. Right, now that's done, we're going to cover it in some bacon bond or liquid clay. Get that all brushed in before we put the next layer on. Now the reason I do this is because when you're using like the aluminium foil and stuff like that, it can cause air bubbles and crack the actual outer skin. So I always do this way first and then pre-wrap it again with some more clay. As we can see here, just a rough jobby, just getting that all in and get all that smoothed in like that before moving on to some feet. Just some simple feet on this one. And we've just made some indentations in, put some liquid clay in, and we're just going to push them into place like that. Bit off of my camera angles there, but now that's done, looking good. Right, now that we've done that, we've got to do the same to these. Right, back onto the aluminium foil, and now we're going to make a hat. So we're just going to get the generic shape that we need, put that into place like that. Right, now we know that that fits, we're just going to drill a hole on either side, put a little bit of armature wire just to hold it into place, and then some bacon bond again just to secure it when it goes in the oven. There we go. Right, now that we've done that, we can wrap it in clay. Now we use 2 coats of the clay. We're just going to get the first one on first of all. Right, now we've got that on, we can just mess around, do whatever else we need to do, and then we can put the second layer on in a little bit. Right, so now we're going to get his beard into place. So we've just got this big thick triangle of clay, and we're just going to mould it into place. And now we're going to get that second layer on his hat. So we're just going to find the shape, and then we have to cut it to size. There we go, we don't want too much excess. Get that side wrapped round and cut a little bit more off here. There we go, cutting that off. Now we can smush all that in. There we go, there's his hat done. Right, now I've just got this ball stylus and we've just made an indentation, as you can see there, for his nose. Again with a liquid clay and a little ball of clay just to be pushed in there as his nose. There we go, as easy as that. Now we've just got a sharp tool and we're just going to make some deep indentations into his beards just to make some shapes more or less. It'll all come together in a little bit. But as you can see, just grooving all them out. Doesn't matter how it looks at the moment, it's not going to look like that in the end. Now we're using this metal bristle tool and we're just going to be pushing that all the way in, scoring it all the way across, making sure that you keep the lines going from up to down. And there we go. all scored in. Now, I do show what I do with this later on, but we've got some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to go back over with this tool again, and it just helps scrape off the majority of that excess, all the lumpy bumpy bits. But later on we do brush the isopropyl in, and it just finishes it off. Right, as you can see there, it's done, and now we're going to move on to the base of his hat and just put this strip of clay on. Just using this wedge tool just to cut off any excess and push out any air bubbles. Right, now that that's done, we're going to drill some armholes. They're small enough for the drill to go straight away through this one. And again, we're just going to use a bit of armature wire, cut it to length and push that all the way through, and angle his arms as needed. Now that we've done that, we've got some sausages of clay, rolled them out, and we're just going to push them on. There we go, just twizzling them on. Nearly there. There we go. Get them all pushed into place before we can do his hands. Now again, we just use balls of clay, and this one's going to be looking like he's got mittens on. So nice and simple. Again, with the silicone wedge tool, we're just going to push him where his thumb would be. As simple as that for some hands. Now each one has got a different pose, and this one is going to be throwing some snowballs. So again, with a bacon bond, we're just going to put a little bit of that in the indentation we've just made, and we'll put the snowball in place. We're going to do the same on his other hand with some stacked up snowballs ready to cause some trouble. And again, just putting another indentation in just helps lock everything into place. Running out of liquid clay, need to order some more. Looking good. Well, as I said a minute ago, each one's got a slightly different pose. Had to add a bit of character into them. What do you think? Right, now back to what I was saying earlier with the isopropyl alcohol. Look at the difference this makes as soon as you brush it in. Well, the difference that makes. Look at that. Now that that's done, this is the centre one, this is the main one, and we're going to add a big moustache onto him. Just using the wedge tool again, just to make any altercations before we start scratching out where all the hairs go in his beard. And we're just going to follow that exactly same as what we've done with the actual beard. Just scoring in first of all before scratching with the actual other tool. I'm useless at knowing what all the tool names are. It's a scratchy tool. That will do. There we go, now we've used a scratchy tool. You can see the difference between the two sides. And we do exactly the same. We're going to go over the isopropyl alcohol. And there you go, all finished, ready for the oven. So we've got a baking tray out, we've put some baking paper on top just so nothing sticks to the actual tray. Giving everything a wash down isopropyl alcohol, just to basically get rid of any fingerprints and any marks. There we go, all on the tray and in the oven they go. While that's baking, we're going to move on to the sleigh. Now I've just drawn out this sleigh, I'm going to cut this out. There we go, cutting it out with a pair of scissors before using that as a stencil on some balsa wood. Now I had to double the balsa wood up for this bit because 3mm balsa wood was a little bit thin and started breaking very easily. So now that that's done, we're going to get a sharp standing knife and score it out. Now I must admit it didn't go to plan, and I had to end up getting the fret saw out of the shed and using that. But now they're all cut out. We're going to cut some more bits and pieces out of the balsa wood. And now using this 2-part glue, which is a super glue on one side and a spray on the other side, which just gives it an instant bond. And there's the base. Do the other side, give that a spray. There we go, simple as that. Now we build up around the other side as well, down the back and up the front. and build a bit of a shelf, as you can see in a moment. There you go. And now we're going to cover the whole lot in clay, because the balsa wood is very, very brittle and would never stand up on its own. So yeah, we had to cover the whole lot in clay, as you can see there, and we even made some presents. Now we're just going to wrap a bit of clay that we've put through the pasta machine to make basically a ribbon going all the way around them. We've gone around one way, we're going to go around the other way. Now we've done that, we can add a bow on the other side. We're using cos clay for this, so as not to try and break it. We need that little bit of extra flexibility with it. And there we go, what do you think? Right, now that that's done, we can get onto some paint. Now we're using a bit of pure red for the Santa Gonk. And we're going to completely cover his coat and his hat. Yep, I forgot to press record when I was doing his coat, I do apologise. Before moving on to some matte black for his boots and his gloves. Now that's done, we can get the white out and do his beard. And now all the gonks are going to be a slightly different colour. And then we're going to use a bit of grey wash on the beards, just to give a little bit of a character to the beards. I'm just going to wipe the rest of that off with a paper towel. And so each one's slightly different, we use slightly different greys for each of the beards. As you can see, it gives a nice little effect. Right, now we're going to use this light blue for all the gonks' hands and feet. Right, now we can get everything started to get glued down into place. Now everything's painted. Santa in his sleigh. Gonna lock down all the presents with a bit of glue as well. Right, now with the base itself, I've given it a white wash and we've gone over with this PVA glue. Gonna get all this brushed in. There we go, getting that all brushed in nice and smoothly before moving on to some of this scatter snow. And we're just going to literally get handfuls of it and just scatter it all around. Get all that brushed into place. And we'll add some trees in there and then we can start building the scene. Right, just to finish off, we'll just PVA and water in a pipette. We're just going to spray a little bit of that over the hats and then put a bit more of the scatter snow around just to get that final effect. And this one, guys, is now complete. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Hope you all have a good Christmas and I hope to see you in the new year with some new designs. Leave me a comment down below of what you'd like to see in the new year.
Happened.